GTS system helps organizations to better manage global trade operations, ensures ongoing trade compliance, and optimizes the cross-border supply chain. GTS legal control data like ITA, EAR, and classification information may or may not be available in the feeder systems. With NextLabs solution in place, any changes on the products in the GTS system can be quickly updated in the feeder system, which would allow organizations to restrict access to sensitive data immediately. To demonstrate this, let's switch to SAP system. NextLabs solution provides an option to store legal control information in the feeder system using the NextLabs security classification data. Here, the material or the document information can be maintained along with the export compliance data like export security or export license. Let's first see a demonstration on how an unauthorized user is able to access the material which is not yet classified as sensitive in GTS system. In this use case, demo user 2 is a non-US citizen and so unauthorized to view sensitive data. When an unauthorized user tries to access a material which is not yet identified as sensitive, user is able to view the data. Also, user is able to view the document that is associated with this material. Now, let's update this material in the GTS system with the legal control information. As soon as the material gets updated in the GTS system, this gets reflected in the security classification transaction in the feeder system. The material 11 is now identified as sensitive. Now, when the same user tries to access the material 11, access is denied. Similarly, when the document is being accessed, it is restricted. Now, let's see when an authorized user tries to access the same data. As the user is authorized user is able to view the data. To enable such restrictions, there is zero code involved. This can be easily achieved with the NextLabs solution using NextLabs policies that are defined in the NextLabs control center. Let's take a look at the policy. Here is the policy that restricts the access to material. There are three main components in the policy. The first main component is the subject component that tells which set of users are allowed to view the data or not allowed. Here in this example, all the non-US citizens are not allowed to view the sensitive data. The next important component in the policy definition is the resource component. Here we define the system that is where you need to see the restrictions applied. And as the NextLabs solution is based on the tables and the fields, table names are mentioned in the resource component. The next important component is the obligation, which tells what sort of restrictions can be applied on the data. The different restrictions that can be applied. Here we could see that the data is restricted by filtering out the sensitive data. To filter out any data, predicate condition in the policy can be used. The predicate condition contains a set of SQL statements that tells the policy which field in the table needs to be checked to restrict the data for the user.